Good evening, everybody. How are you, Shivani, Ayushi? I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. Hi, Arnavaz. Welcome to my live Instagram today. I'm so glad. Arnavaz is my classmate from school 35, 40 years back. Hi, Ria. How are you? Welcome. Divya. Priyanka Bansali. Welcome. Shivani, I was also waiting to join y'all at 5 p.m. How are you all? Wednesday going great with everybody? Meghna, hello. Pooja. Hi, Surbi. Surbi, I would like to try and get you on the chat in the later half and we'll see how it works. Because invariably, Instagram gives me a lot of challenges with that. Come, let us start with today's lovely lesson. As you must have already got it, the topic today is on today's date, which is May 13th. जिसे हिंदी में कहते हैं मैं तेरा. Now, it's a very, very valuable thing to be able to say this to anybody in the world. How would you feel if everybody would come up to you and say कि मैं तेरा? So yes, today is a very, very nice day. I have always looked forward. It also happens to be, and a person who has actually proven that वो हमारे हैं is the art of living master, Shri Shri Ravi Shankar ji. It's his birthday today. There are lots of live programs on all his channels happening today. He has actually dedicated his life, and I also want to salute him for all the amazing teachings he's given to millions and millions of people across the globe. Ravi Shankar ji, happy birthday. We were always taught how to be good to others and be helpful with people and share everything that we have. These are the basic lessons of community living as cohabitants of this planet Earth. And today I'm going to share with you some tips on what I called as they are basically things that I have always known, and to be kind is something which brings a lot of happiness. So usually I do a session which is called the art of asking and the joys of giving, and before the precedent to that session, which is the art of asking, which is something that we are all very hesitant to because we do not know and we have some preconceived notions about how people will perceive it about when you ask them for something. So we will be understanding the joys of giving today, how important it is to give, like we have learned in our school about how to help seniors cross the road, nurse the wounded if you come across anybody, speak a few words, good words to people whom you meet, feed an animal, help the needy. But today we are going to go a little beyond that. And this was always taught to us, but a new spark in my life entered when I heard about a revolution which is started by a businessman living in Matunga here, whose name is Rishabh Turakia. I don't even know whether I am able to contact him now. I tried my best to call him today, but he started something very beautiful from organization which he calls as Your Turn Now. What he does is he has printed few cards, a blue card as he calls it. They are the acts of kindness, and every time you do something that gives you pleasure or you believe you have helped somebody, you are supposed to give them that card and tell them to pass it on to somebody else. So you must have heard about pass it forward, pay it forward, doing good acts. Also about philanthropy, as we call it. You must have heard about Infosys being such a huge organization. The wife of Mr. Narayan Murthy, Sudha Murthy, is a great inspiration of philanthropy, and she has said something very beautiful. She says that we don't have to be rich to be able to give. This is a belief we carry, that only rich people can share their happinesses or share whatever they have. You don't have to be rich, you can be kind, you can be generous, even just with your words. So a few examples that she shares for which you do not need money is to be kind with all the people who are working in your office or in your building or your vicinity, your college, your school, your office, including the maids, the security guards, knowing their personal names and addressing them. One beautiful act of kindness could be picking up a few children from the slums around your area. If there's somebody who comes to your house to work, tell them that get 4 children from your area and start teaching them regularly. Not right now, but when things get better. It's a beautiful act of kindness. Visiting old age homes, visiting orphanages, and doing some acts of kindness. So many times we do not know how can we be generous. There are many things. Many people tell me, sir, how do we do it? I have no idea. So I will share with you a lot of small things. At the end of today's session, I'm going to put up a post which will be on my Instagram, which will give you 100 ways of doing kindness in the smallest possible form. And let me assure you, none of this will require your so-called money. You will be able to be kind and loving, and I am telling you, to be kind is not for anybody else. The joys of giving are way beyond the short, small pleasures of receiving. So I am today going to prompt you, and most of the things that I'm going to tell you is something you already know, but probably nobody has, prompted them and told them to you. So definitely I will inspire you all that by giving the joy that you receive, they say that givers are always gainers, and it's no point going to the graveyard with whatever you have saved. So although most of you are very young, but I was taught this in school, but then I forgot. It came to me much later at the age of 30, 35 that I realized there are many people who give up on life, who are depressed, and then they start looking for mera kya fayda, why am I living, why should I be here? And then this thought, when you can cling on to this one thought, that you are here to contribute, you are here to share, you are here to give whatever in capacity you are. And today I'm going to share at least 20-30 very small ways which will also come to you as notes. But if you want to make a small, pen down a few ideas of how to be more generous, more kind, and spread happiness wherever you go, you should start by greeting every individual you meet. Greet strangers in the elevator, at the entrance, wherever you meet them. Greeting people is a very small act of kindness which brings a smile. With a smile, wish a good day to every person you meet, whether it's a bus conductor, a bus driver. Some people are going through hell. You may not know that, but I will recommend cultivate this small habit. Write a thank you note at the end of every service in the hotel you receive. On the bill when you pay, just take a pen and write down thank you for your services. These people cherish it. Saying good morning to every person in the first half of the day, and thank you. And I told you those magic words like I love you, I am sorry. Don't go around telling I love you to everybody. I mean people whom you know, people whom you're very close to. Tell that to your family when you're about to leave. Reach out to somebody whom you haven't called for a long time and see the happiness. Sometimes you have not been reaching out to people because of your ego. Trust me, Arnavaz, who's with us on the chat today, I hadn't met her for 25 years. And then when I met with her on a school reunion, it was such a moment of joy. Yeah. Distributing small tokens of love, like a sweet, with everybody you meet. Distributing pastries and cakes. Offering a cup of tea whenever you have a cup of tea to anybody who is around you. On your birthday, instead of sharing your happiness, of course do it with your friends, cut expensive cakes, but by the number of years you've completed. If you've completed 22, buy 22 pastries and share it with the street children, absolute unknown people, because the blessings, forget of what you get, what you feel. Just imagine. I'm sure all of you have experienced the joys of giving. So why not make that a habit and put it in your everyday chart to do it regularly. It's going to bring a lot of joy in your so-called life that you call filled with problems. Whenever somebody comes for delivery in your house, whether it's a courier guy or whether it's a guy who gets you food, keep a small bowl. If you come to my shop ever in Zaveri Bazaar, I have 2 bowls which have small goodies for everybody who enters my store, whether he comes to sweep the floor, give me chai, get a courier, the postman, the municipality guy, the guy who brings the electricity bill. He also loves to pick up those candies that I keep at the entrance of my store. Share a chocolate or a cookie with people who come for delivery at your place. It will bring a smile, and next time when they have your envelope or your delivery, even for Amazon, they will wait to come to your house. Okay? These are few things. Also, yes, when you're on the street, invariably we have to stand in a queue, and since now this time has happened and we have distances, if you are not in a hurry and you have time, you have no idea how the person behind you feels when you just tell him, offer them to come a little ahead. I know in India कहते हैं कि नहीं यार ऐसा कैसा होगा, people will take advantage of you. Trust me, try it. Don't assume things. People love it when somebody offers them a seat, an old man or pregnant lady or somebody who is handicapped. Don't make them feel that you're doing something great. Just say that I'm about to get off. Why don't you sit down? This small act of kindness. Weren't we taught all this in school? Yeah, but we have forgotten. So offer a seat to someone in the train or in any waiting area. When you're looking for parking and you find one, now it comes that would you want to park there or would you offer that parking to anybody? Give the right of way to somebody who's more senior, or if it's a gentleman who's got an important meeting, if it's somebody with a sticker of a professional like a doctor or a lawyer, please allow them the right of way if you are not in a hurry. Unless explain them rather than making it your right of way. Yes, whenever you're going to visit people in the hospital, one beautiful gesture I will suggest is don't take flowers for the person who's admitted. Take flowers and hand them over to the guard, the lift man. They will stop you from taking it up. Yes, don't take it up to the patient. Give it to people who are protecting that person. That small act of kindness will bring a lot of happiness in your life. Every time you finish an empty Bisleri bottle of plastic, rather than chucking it away, get it refilled from the closest water place and hand it over to some person who's working on the streets, particularly in summer. If nothing else, put it down on the street for a dog or an animal or a bird to have water. It's a very, very small thing. If you work in offices, make sure at least once in a week, take them something that you would like to share with them, something that your mom or you have cooked. Share it with your colleagues. Sharing is caring. It will bring you very, very close. In other places like, yes, toll. This was something which was so beautiful. I'll narrate an example with you which I have tried multiple times. Let's assume that you're crossing the Vashi toll or the Bombay Pune toll or the Worli Sea Link, and whichever city or country you are in. For fun's sake, only once, pay for the person who's following you. Just tell that guy, please take this money. If it's 70 rupees, pay 140, which is less than $2. Just pay that and tell them this is for the guy behind you. Now what happens to the guy behind you? Let us assume that you are going in a Maruti or a Santro and there is a guy coming behind you in a BMW. So the toll guy usually would tell him, the guy in the front, आगे वाला आपके पैसे दे करके गया है, isn't it? And now that person has got 2 options. Option 1 is, I don't know him, who the hell was he? And he will show his arrogance and either insist on paying, or chase you and try to identify who was it that paid for him. Option B, he could also pay the same amount of toll and say, now please take this for the piche wala. So I am not paying for myself. This is called passing it on. So eventually when you have started a new trend, every person pays for themselves but makes it sound as if the guy behind you, you're paying for the other guy. So it will just increase the kindness. Okay? If there are some old sick people in your vicinity, in your building, in your locality, in your office premise, always offer them some help. Get them the medicines or grocery whenever you could. It will help them a lot. Please donate your old clothes. Don't just throw them in the garbage. These acts of kindness will do two things. They will help you declutter, remove all the old stuff that you have. And when old goes, the universe gives you new. Trust me. Every time you declutter, new things are attracted to you. God doesn't give you more because every time He believes you have it in abundance. When He sees scarcity, He will fill it up. When you're crossing the road, when you are driving a car and you see a pedestrian, please offer the right of way to a pedestrian. It will make you feel good. Just allow them, hold on. I usually always do it, more so when I see some pretty looking girls or I see an old people crossing the road. I always stop my car and I let them walk. It brings a smile on their face, and you know, your mood changes like that. Compliment strangers. Yeah, when you like somebody who's wearing something beautiful, you like their bag. I know you must be wondering, how is this possible in India? People take it the wrong way. Yeah, shuruat to karo. All over the world I've traveled and I've seen people appreciating small. I remember my wife wearing a polka dress once, and a gentleman walks up to her and said, "Ma'am, please take care. I just saw you drop a polka there." And then we all started laughing and it started a conversation. So please compliment strangers for if you like their sunglasses, you like the way their car is shining. These are small acts of kindness. Yes, volunteer at an NGO. This is one area in your daily chart or your weekly or monthly chart that I will recommend. Please do what in our Master's Trust we say as seva. Go and serve. I remember my grandmother once telling me, go to a temple and serve, and she told me, your job today is to go to a temple and collect people's shoes when they enter. There is a person who keeps your shoes. And I just quietly used to take the shoes, put them, give them a number. And then one day she walked up to me and she said, "What do you do once they are in the temple?" I said, "What am I supposed to do? I've taken their shoes. I wait for them while they come back." She said, "No, beta, here is a cloth and a brush and a shoe shine. While you're waiting for them to come, please learn to shine their shoes. Clean all the dust, because this is where you're doing service to them. This is how they will have more faith." This is a very small thing, but it changed my life. It helped me control my ego so much. It helped me learn new things. Every time I would serve, my grandmother, my nani, who taught me so many small things. And I'm telling you, these don't cost much. And the joy is not to the receiver, but to the giver. Experience it, and you must have done it. Every time you would have helped somebody, you must have felt that enjoyment, that kind of rush of energy in your mind. Yes, when you are, if you're free, please make sure to visit your high school, your school, meet your teachers, feel proud and tell them wherever you are in life is because of them. Again, the pleasure, the feeling of self-esteem, self-proud, self-confidence, all the so-called small depressions, fears, and insecurities that you have will vanish. Go to your school once a while, meet your headmistress, remind her of the punishments and thank them for the punishments. Confess with your friends if in childhood you have done something wrong to them. You remember, I had done this, I am sorry. You will feel so much lighter, trust me. These acts of kindness, I will be sharing at least 100 more, and very, very simple ones. Even if you could do one in a day, get printout of that one thing is my suggestion. Just get one in a day. Before you leave, put a copy of that in the car, in your office table, in your washroom, close to your pot. Every morning when you're finishing, you're cleaning up your emotional thing, just read two things and say, today I'm going to do these two things. Buying a 5 rupees ka glucose packet and gifting it to somebody. Taking, like if you go to the bank, imagine if you're taking a small 5-star of 5 or 10 rupees to give it to the guy who collects your cash every day. Just imagine. I have learned the art of giving, and every time I travel, I take gifts for the air hostesses. They are as cheap as 20, 30, 15, 20 rupees. A small bracelet, a small chain, a small ring. And people who check in, I am telling you, givers are the people who gain. I have been upgraded to business class. I'm not telling you to be greedy, but I'm just sharing with you some beautiful insights in the joys that you receive when you do these small acts of kindness. Today is your day. Serve all mankind. Tell everybody मैं Tera. I am reminded of a program I had done in Rishikesh where the spiritual master taught us to move around the city for one day wearing a board in my neck where it was written in large letters, use me. When you do that, the people read use me. And when people come to ask you for something, thank God for being capable to help you. I have decided and learned this way later in life, but you guys are in your early youth. The sooner you cultivate this beautiful habit of being available and do not have to cost you anything. Do small acts of kindness. Let people use you. Do not be scared. Be okay to compassionately say no when you can't help. Offer them some other option with your intelligence and see a magical change happening in your life. Wishing you a great week ahead. Start today. Pick up the phone, call your school teachers or an old friend whom you fought with where there is an ego issue. Make a printout of the list of acts of kindness that I share with you today. And thank you very much.